Well, represent everyone to see what not verse. We're gonna do a video on the full moon of Virgo with the sun in Pisces, right? So the little breakdown before I get into the video and do the music and all that type of thing. It's all about the details. That's what Virgo's all about. So when you have involvement in the details and in the emotion of the details, it's gonna be also pertaining to the routine, the pattern, also your health, and due to that you're going to be in critique of oneself, and due to being critique of oneself, what is going to be in critique of the surrounding area. You dig what I'm saying? So that's just a little breakdown before I get into the music and get into the whole breakdown to the houses and all that. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to get into it. Shout out Shadow on the beat, you dig what I'm saying, and on the hook. That's how the showers be make a motherfucker feel. That's what they try to get a motherfucking deal. Tired of the lie. From the ozone 309 to the double O. East Coast mogul. Feature like a teacher, speak on me. Death me the reaper. This is ether, cold flow anemia. Top down, streaming out. Money ain't a thing. If you hate it, then sue me. Words so fuck a Maybach. I'm straight in the back of this hoopty. Like a movie, system failed me. Inception, intervention. Astro magenta. Woke up in this MySpace, don't fail me now. MySpace with hot heads, geometry flow like anatomy. Roll like your nerves, zero gravity. Keep it simple, can't match up. Lest we see three. Lest you see three. Oh. I feel so. I'm tired of the lies. I feel so tired. I feel no desire. I feel so tired of the lies. MET477 Numerology G11. Yeah, you know we reppin' Beast Coast like NYC. Tryna escape the NYC. Can you see? Tryna escape by the seas. Spirit gon' float like the rain. Spirit gon' float and can dance in the plane. Alright, so yo. So we gonna do the full moon in Virgo. You dig what I'm saying? That was a little music. You dig what I'm saying? You can check that out. Whenever I drop that. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, okay. So the full moon is a 180-degree angle, and that's why it is a full moon. So with that thing, it's opposition. You dig what I'm saying? Like direct opposition. So with that being said, it's feeling the details of a dream with the sun in Pisces. Seeing the routine of a dream, critiquing the dream, you dig what I'm saying? And or illusory action. So feeling the details of a dream and or illusory action. Needing balance and satisfaction or fulfillment. So this is the details of an illusory action. So the question you can ask yourself with this is, how does one feel about the detail in one's illusory and or dream and action? You dig what I'm saying? Or enactment or enacted. So whenever you take action, what does this dream pertain to? You dig what I'm saying? What are the details of it? And when you're critiquing it with that emotion, the full moon, the moon is opposite to the sun. So whenever you're critiquing it, it's like an illusory thing. So it's hard to even pinpoint. So that's why it's that opposition. You need to find that balance. So that's the question you can ask yourself. How does one feel about the detail in one's illusory and or dream enacted? So, like, if you were the playwright and you were the one creating the play, is your play going the right way you want it to go? You know what I'm saying? Are the correct details being played out? So, I'll break down all the one first to the 12th, and then I'll actually, go into detail about it. So, get a little drink first. One sec. First house, balancing the details of a personal affair. Second house, balancing one's values in detail. Third house, balancing the details of the environment. Fourth house, balancing the details of the home and or private space. Excuse me. Fifth house, balancing the details of one's expression. Sixth house, balancing the routine in detail. Seventh house, balancing the details of one's relations. Balancing the secrets in detail or transforming the details. Ninth house, balancing the details of one's morality. 10th house, balancing the details of one's status. 11th house, balancing the details of one's associates. And 12th house, balancing the details of one's dream. So for the first house, it's like your personal affair. So how are you able to balance the actual details of the dream? You dig what I'm saying? In your personal life. So you have this dream in your seventh house. In your first house, you have this a way of feeling comfortable, of seeing the details of things or the routine of things. You like to be on this personal routine. But how does it actually relate to other people? You know what I'm saying? So are you satisfied with how you relate in turn of being in the details personally? So the lower octave, you don't create balance with your relations. The higher octave, you're able to create balance with your relations because you're in the details. So the way to get to the higher octave, if you're in the lower octave, you want to be able to relate the correct details to you, the actual emotions that you're relating to. You know what I'm saying? So whoever you're relating to, you want to actually appeal to emotion, so to speak. So the second house, balancing one's values in detail. So on the higher octave, the things that you value actually give you the correct details, and they actually are harmonious. You know what I'm saying? They're not harmful. On the lower octave, it would be harmful. So the things that you value actually bring you a harmonious circumstance, so they actually benefit you. So that they make some money for you. They help nourish you in the mental, physical, or spiritual realm. In the lower octave, they're harmful to you in the mental, physical, or spiritual realm. That nourishment is bad nourishment. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of sugars instead of protein and calcium and things like that. For example, third house, balancing. Okay, and then for the second house, the opposite house would be the eighth house. So it'd be like shared values or your secrets or behind the scenes. So like your behind the scenes dream and what people don't really know that you actually have, like your internal motives, like what actually motivates you and what you're trying to transform, and the way you transform is like dreamlike. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the eighth house. So Pisces, being that mutable water, being able to adapt to other people's shared values, do you actually create balance between what you value and others value? So like what you bring to the table, does it actually correlate to reality, so to speak? Like with the second house being an earth house and the eighth house being a water house. Does it actually make sense? The things that you feel comfortable with in the second house, is a shared value? You know what I'm saying? In the eighth house. So like you see what I'm saying? So on the lower octave, if it's not a value that can actually be shared, then it's actually non-harmonious, so it's harmful. So it's just something that you're doing by yourself behind the scenes. And then the higher octave would be something that you're able to do with others to share value. It's a value that you could actually bring to other people, places, or things in the second house. Those things that you feel comfortable with. The details. So then the third house, balancing the details of the environment. So in your environment, either you either critique that you initiate. Pardon me, not initiate. This is all mutable energy. The third house is a air house as well, so it does well with Virgo here. And you think about the ninth house being with Pisces. That's also a good alignment in a way because it's also a Jupiter house. So like Jupiter ruled house because the ninth house is ruled by Jupiter. And then we also have, well, the ninth house is ruled, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, right? Then the ninth, Sagittarius is birthed from the ninth house, so that works well. And then Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius and Pisces, so you look at Pisces in the ninth house, that's a good alignment. So in a way, this is a good, this is a good full moon. It's like this is a harmonious alignment. Like we could even look at your rising sign, like before Virgo, it wouldn't be. So it'd be Virgo before Virgo is Leo and Cancer. Yeah. So I think Cancer is your first house. Yeah. So and then yeah, because then your fourth house would be Libra. So this is for the Cancer rising, and the third house with Virgo in the third house. So for the Cancer, they're initiating and creating their personal life, and it's a sextile to the Virgo energy, and then for the Pisces energy, it's a trine. So this is a harmonious alignment for you. Because in the third house, if you're able to actually initiate and create the right mood in your personal life, then you have that sextile to the Virgo full moon, in your natal chart compared to the transiting chart, and you're able to see, okay, what details of my environment are actually good for me. You know what I'm saying? So like what is a harmonious flow of energy in the first and the third house, and you could look at that first to the ninth house, and then that's that trine because the first house is a fire house and the ninth house is a fire house as well. In this aspect, though, you have water here, so it would be like burning through reality in your personal life and your knowledge or wisdom. So the knowledge and wisdom that you have due to being in your environment, you see what I'm saying, you're actually able to balance, right people to be around in your environment. Like, okay, I know what this person does whenever they're not around me. So like I know what energy they carry, what energies people carry, and you're able to actually adapt to what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how it could be harmonious. And then if it's harmful, you have the right, you don't have good discernment of others in your environment. You don't have the right knowledge, wisdom, or morality, and then you actually end up being in a difficult circumstance when the full moon. In the fourth house, so balancing the details of the home or private space. So, are you aware of other people's triggers in the home, pretty much? So, like, what will actually, make people tick. You know what I'm saying? So you understand what makes an individual upset, or you understand what makes an individual happy. You know what I'm saying? Or what brings somebody to the lower or higher octave. That's actually how you discern which ladder scale you're on, because how you're able to actually adapt in the fourth house. And then the 10th house, that'll actually be your status. Like, how are you actually able to adapt to other individuals, their emotions and things like that. I'm trying to itch my eye. I was trying to figure out what would be easier, like here or up here. So yeah, and then the fifth house, balancing the details of one's expression. So, are you aware of how you express yourself and how you make other individuals feel? And then due to that, are you aware that whatever you actually express puts you in a certain group or algorithm on the, like, for example, if you're looking at the in public aspect of the 11th house, like how you express oneself, it'll actually bring a certain algorithm towards your channel. You dig what I'm saying? Or your page, or whatever you want to call it. Then you'll have a certain following due to what you actually put on the forefront and what you actually present. So yeah, are you aware of that? And are you aware that whatever you express actually puts you with a certain group as well in reality? Only certain people want to be around you and actually hear your expression. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be more open to whatever group you want to align with and balance that. Then the sixth house, balancing the routine and detail. So are you able to put the right things on the routine and schedule, and see the details of it is actually beneficial towards your dream? So then the 12th house being in opposition, you have that sixth house and Virgo, and then the full moon opposes that 12th house. So it's like, are you able to balance the details that you're working towards for your dream? The 7th house, balancing the details of one's relations. So, are you aware of how you communicate and relate? And are you aware of how your thought process actually opposes another individual's individuality? So, if that to break that down in more like logical terms, your personal first house or your personal affairs are all Pisces. You get what I'm saying? So, not all Pisces. So your first house is Pisces, right? And the 7th house is Virgo for the this this 7th house in the full moon. So it would be a full accumulation of how you communicate and relate, and how you have this dreamlike personality. So like, are you able to communicate your actual what you got going on in your personal life? You get what I'm saying? And what makes you feel comfortable in your relationship. On the higher octave, you're able to communicate what makes you feel comfortable in your relationship. On the lower octave, you feel uncomfortable with what's going on in your relationship. And the 8th house, behind the scenes in detail or behind the scene. Wow, behind balancing the secrets in detail or transforming the details. So on the 8th house, it's about, are you able to actually transform what you see that you should transform and the actual details that you need to shed. So like the full moon is all about shedding. So it's like shedding the right or wrong energies. You do what I'm saying? That's what it's all about for those whole 2 weeks. So for the lower octave, you're not able to actually shed the details that should be shedded, and then for the higher octave, you're able to actually shed, no matter what it is, whatever detail you actually feel is necessary, whatever you value behind the scenes that people don't know about. You actually, um, it's not relatable. Like other people can't value it as well. You know what I'm saying? Because your opposition would be in that second house. So Virgo being in the 8th house would be opposite to the second house being in Virgo. So with that being said, it would be like what you actually value and like what dreams you value, um, the ideas you value of a person, like of a people, place, and thing, is going to actually be what's affected here. So, like, are you able to be relatable? And then, like I said before, that will determine the higher or lower octave. Then the 9th house, balancing the details of one's morality. So, are you able to see with the knowledge of wisdom and how you like create one's knowledge and wisdom? So, how your worldview is like, are you able to adapt the details? You know what I'm saying? So, and then to the actual environment that you're in. So, are you relatable to the actual environment? That would be the opposition right there. And the way you would discern where you're on the higher or lower octave would be, is your morality um like of a right standing, so to speak? Like, is it good for yourself as well? Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so to speak. And you could use that phrase in this circumstance. And if it's not good for the goose, then it's not good for the gander as well. So, like, if one party's, to break that analogy down, or that metaphor, that riddle, it's like, if it's not good for both parties, then it's not a good thing. So, if it's good for one party, then it's not good for the other. That's the lower octave. If it's good for both parties, then that's on the higher octave, and that's where your morality should be at. You should be able to benefit all. And then the 10th house, so balancing the details of one's status. So are you able to see how you like the blueprint you've created and the status of it? Is it like one that's actually beneficial? Can you see yourself making this career, so to speak? So what you're putting, like the details that you're and the details of things, and the things that you're critiquing about those details, like, is that a status that's beneficial of it? Like, what you're doing is beneficial, or is it non-beneficial. So the opposite of the fourth house. The fourth house. So the dreams that you have that are close to your heart, are you actually balancing that out? So are you able to balance the status that you create to achieve those dreams that you have close to your heart? Excuse me. In the 11th house, balancing the details of one's associates. So you're able to balance the group is the higher octave. Are you able to balance who you're around? Like, do you feel comfortable being by yourself? Pretty much is the opposition to that fifth house. Like, are you able to be in your own fifth house nature, like your own expression? So are you able to be around the right groups? The higher octave. Lower octave would be you're not able to relate to the groups that you're in. So that would be how you would discern if you're on the higher or lower octave at the 11th house. Are you able to be around the right people at the right time? You get what I'm saying? And those people bring you the right details. In the 12th house, this would be balancing the details of one's dream. So are you in the right routine and pattern to achieve your dream? That'd be the way you would discern your higher and lower octave here. So yeah, much love and holla back at me for the astrology. You know what I'm saying? You could email me all type of things. So I do more than just the first to the 12th house. That's just what I'm doing on the internet right now that I'm presenting. But yeah, I could do all kinds of programs. I was gonna say hella, but heavenly. I could do heavenly programs. You dig what I'm saying? So all kinds of programs, like teaching people the little intricacies of the astrology. But if you watch my channel, you dig what I'm saying? Eventually, you're gonna get on that same path. So yeah, we're gonna ride out with the little beat I created. You dig what I'm saying? We're gonna tap into that real fast. Just, bear with me real quick. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a little bit frigid outside. You dig what I'm saying? I'm excited to get outside and start being able to do videos in the warm weather and things like that. But where I'm at in my geographical location isn't really warm enough. I won't really be like safe to not be sick. So I won't be able to be live as much as I am if that's the case whenever it's not warm enough outside. So I'm excited for the summertime when I could be outside like that.
I'm outside, it's no biggie, don't tempt me. I'm in my temperance, on my Gemini sad shit. Shouts to Aldebaran, clairvoyant. My sign seamless, clean cut seamstress. I got that meanness, vertex.
One second. We go connect to the little Bluetooth, and I'm gonna rock it out. You dig what I'm saying? This is a little joint that I got sent to me, and I'm gonna do just my part. You dig what I'm saying?
XOR Siri.
Hold up.
I'm outside, it's no biggie, don't tempt me. I'm in my temperance, on my Gemini sad shit. Shouts to Aldebaran, clairvoyant. My sign seamless, clean cut seamstress. I got the meanness, vertex Venus to intervene with. Now ask around if you wanna know now. Check the monad, check with the quickness. Word bomb. The flow made me a star like Sirius. I get high
Like South P.
Kill shows like Eddie. You delirious? I can't sit every day, just the styles of some myriad. Walk on the beat, gasoline,
Sophie.
wind me down clean, and the opportunity gets sleep.
Certified seats.
I'm colder than your freak. Everybody wanna rock like we so icy. If you study counting crows and study eating like it's on the bowl, it's fiendish for the dough. If the whip got harder, then you need more water. Proceed up on my collar. Jewels got heavy, then the game got bloody. See the little homies fucking with the muddy. In and out the country, haven't been out the country. Outside the boundary, motherfuckers still love me. If I had all the money, bitch I still stay hungry. No one above me, no weapon form shall prosper. Shouts out to Harper, but even if you're Harper, you all know I still gotcha. Intellect, get introspect. If you send a shot,
I send a jet.
I ain't even split the proceeds like that
Man. But I don't live in a man.
I'll tell your fam. that I wanna live you with the menace. I could mingle with, I'm off a single shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, all of this shit.
You heard?
Flow like a pro when you get the O's. Oh.
Yeah. Shout out to New York. You dig what I'm saying? Other people in the game, not the game. You dig what I'm saying? Other people in the industries be playing themselves out. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta rock with every little geographical location and address when you wrong. You dig what I'm saying? So there's a little thing going on the internet. Shouts out to Math Hop. You dig what I'm saying? Just to be clear, you dig what I'm saying? If you got children, take care of them. You dig what I'm saying? Shouts out to the homies that be taking care of their kids. You dig what I'm saying?